Good morning.
Good morning.
You can't turn your phone while live. Rotate your device. Well, we're not rotating our device so you could see both of us. I'm not sure this is going to work, but I'm here with my friend Greg from Colts Neck Financial, having our morning coffee. And the reason that we're here and not in the restaurant is because they have no Wi-Fi there. But they promised me by next week they'll do it. So next week we'll be in a restaurant and not in a car. I feel a little bit like the car, where they have that car
Taxi thing?
Where karaoke in the car.
Right.
Okay, I feel a little like that. But what we really came here to talk about today is that there really is no secure environment, and that's when you get to retirement age or planning for your retirement, so no matter what your age is, there's really no way to get security. So what I'm going to ask Greg about is, so what do? It's another uncertainty in life?
Yeah, I think one of the things that you're responsible for as a parent or as an employer is to create security for the people that are around you, right? We live in a very tumultuous environment, to say the least. One of the things that you got to do is to create sort of predictability in people's lives. So lives, from a management perspective, whether it's money, and you got to have some level of stability and some level of excitement in your life. That's what people do. That's why people jump out of airplanes. But you need a certain level of stability. And you got to create security. So back 30 or 40 years ago, when people worked for the same company for 30 or 40 years, pensions were created. So people used to live the security, the safety blanket between Social Security that the government gave you and a pension that your employer gave you, created a safety blanket so people could live and they had security. The world is a lot less secure, both from a physical perspective, right? Because there's a lot going on in the world when it comes to guns and countries and politicians and things. But there's also a lot less security in money. The stock market is a very tumultuous place. There's a lot going on. So what you got to do is create security. Same thing you would do for your kids or your employees or the people that you care about. But you got to create security with money. And I manage money, a lot of money for a living, for other people. I manage people's money. So I see people that have stability and have security and those that don't. And even if you have a lot of money, it doesn't mean you're secure, because your assets are basically, if they're in the market, are very tumultuous. So you don't sleep at night. What you need to have to sleep at night is that predictable income stream, that security that you want to create for the people that are around you. So that's what I do with my family. That's what I do with my friends. That's what I do with my clients.
So how do you do that, like at different stages? Like if you're 30 years old, how do you start building that security if you're 40? But then what happens when you get to my age in the 60s? What do you do?
You have to create that predictable income stream.
So be specific.
So one of the things that are out there, so the stock market's a relative casino. It goes like this as far as its valuations are concerned. Insurance companies over the last bunch of years, over the last 2 decades basically, have put together these annuities-based products. And annuities, by definition, is just something that pays you in perpetuity a very consistent level. So what we do with a lot of people, if you don't have a pension from your employer, you got to create, on top of Social Security, this predictable income stream that lets you sleep at night.
Right, but you need a lot of money to put into an annuity.
You don't. Depending on your age, the earlier you start, the better, just like everything else.
But you need a lot of money to start, or else you get $5 a month.
No, you can create with, and I don't want to throw numbers out there, but you have to basically take what you have in your 401k. So what happened in the 1980s, in 1982 specifically, is that pensions started to wane. Nobody has pensions anymore, and everybody's got 401ks. So you got to balance that 401k money. There's money. First of all, you got to save money on the side. We have to promulgate.
What if you live paycheck to paycheck?
Depending on what age you are. Some people continue. People that live paycheck to paycheck didn't plan accordingly.
Okay, so let's say you live paycheck to paycheck. You're in your 40s now. What do? How do you begin?
You have to save a certain percent of your money.
Because you have to saying that, but how do you save if you're living paycheck to paycheck?
Listen, when you're young and you have that issue, you have to change your habits. You can't go out to the movies 4 nights a week. You have to save money. Saving is, we live in we come from a generation ago very frugal people. We've saved money. This generation doesn't do that. They do live hand to mouth because they're in a very immediate gratification world that we're living in right now, which is really important to create these savings type plans earlier in life and not later in life. Most people have 401ks. The most people that have money that they have, 75% of most people's investment and that money that they have are in savings accounts. That's a good thing right now. We could deal with that. So if somebody comes to me and says, this is what I got in a 401k, this is what I have in cash, this is what I have in a house, this is about creating a quality of life. What happens is that the average age of a person now, 90% chance that 1 or 2 people in a couple are going to live to 90 years old. People are going to run out of money.
Wow.
If you don't plan.
It's a good thing my coffee's so good, because this conversation is making me really nervous.
It's upset. Yeah, because, and this is the reason why people need to talk to people. You can't, money is no longer a DIY. You can't do it yourself. People used to try to fix their cars and fix their sinks and fix their.
So just like you need life coaching, you need money coaching.
It's what I do is a combination of life coaching, because it's about creating. Money is just a means to the end. Creating the quality of life. Money, you need money to have a certain level of quality. Money is important. Money's like oxygen. If you don't have it, it really sucks. If you have too much of it, sometimes you hyperventilate also. So you got to be able to basically create this predictable, secure income stream and replace what 30 years ago used to be pensions with other predictable income streams. So you don't have the money in the.
So what's one thing that people can do? Like it's so scary, because
very scary.
I didn't really pay attention to money when I was younger. I just kind of let other people do it. And now all of a sudden I feel like, not so much for me, but for many people I know, their spouse is dying, or the
situation changes,
the situation's changing, they're getting divorced,
right.
And all of a sudden they have no clue where to begin. So I want like a specific thing.
You got to find somebody that you trust in your life, and it's generally not going to be your cousin or your brother-in-law. It needs to be somebody that you trust, whether it's your accountant or a financial person or a lawyer, somebody that could basically guide you through these tumultuous times.
Wait,
you got to find somebody.
But how do you know?
How do you know what?
How do you know who to trust?
Trust is something that needs to be established between you as a person and the person. You got to know. It's a gut. Half of trust is gut instinct. You got to trust people. That's this is my business. I deal with this all the time. So most of the times when people come to me, they give me a little pile of money, and then they give, as you get established. Sometimes trust is established.
Do you think you should only use one person, or you should spread it around?
Depending how much money you have. Depends how much money you have. If you got 5 coins, how many holes would you dig in your backyard? 5 or 1? It depends. That's a very personal decision. If I have 5 coins, I would probably put. If I had 105 coins, I might have 2 different people. If you've got what you consider an unmanageable, substantial amount of money, most people have multiple advisors. But we're talking about wealthy people. Most people.
What about the rest of us?
One advisor. You got to have one person that's your go-to person.
And what
that you trust.
percentage of your money? Like, how do you figure out? Do you have a formula?
That what?
Like,
how much money? That what?
How much money you need to save in order to be able to live?
Yeah, there's formulas and textbooks, calculations, and software packages that help us figure that out.
Do you think you should learn things from Google first, so you could ask the right questions?
I think you should educate yourself on Google, but part of my job is to educate people. I think and inform. Like, remember, Side Sims used to have the educated consumers are the best customer. You got to educate people, because people need to have variables understood before they can make decisions. You can't blindly trust people. In a post-Madoff world, you can't do that, right?
Right, and he was a lot of people trusted him, and look where that.
So how did those people get ripped off? They trusted the wrong person. So trust is a really, really, in my business, that's the most important thing. It's the most important thing.
But I feel like nobody really knows what the future is. So I can trust you, but in the end, it's like on the commercials, there's like, this is no evidence of future gains. Like, even if you trust somebody.
Right, so that's where these annuities come in. So annuities are a very important product. In the stock market, when you give your money to somebody, you're taking on all the risk. You have a Sherpa that's taking you up the mountain, but if you fall, you're dead, right? Okay, that's your Mount Everest climb. The insurance companies are, in the last 20 years, have become the only person they would take on shared risk with you. If you give them a pile of money and create this annuity, they guarantee. You can't even say in stock, when you're investing money, you can't guarantee anything, because past results are example of future gains. So, when you go to an annuity and insurance company, you're creating a lifetime predictable income stream for you and your spouse for the rest of your lives. The dollar amount needs to be worked on through calculations. We need to work on that. But the reality is that security is you can't do that in the market because your assets are going like this. What you want to do is create predictability. Nobody likes unprediction. And regardless, and there's people that I have that have $10 million that don't sleep at night. But you got to be able to sleep at night. You got to be able to take certain predictability into the equation. You got to be predictable. So the insurance companies, you can give a pile of money, and just like when you buy an insurance policy, you pay in your premiums for your house insurance or your car insurance, and you pay in a premium, and they guarantee if your house burns down, you get into a car accident, somebody dies, you're going to get a check.
Yeah.
This is the same thing for retirement money. So now the transition of recreating this pension and predictability, can't do it in the market, because even if you hire an advisor, you're still taking on the risk. You need to share the risk in a trusted environment. Share the risk with the company, because they're guaranteeing you the predictability of which I speak. Is that predictable? If you know that you got a $10,000 check coming in every month, or $20,000, $5,000, whatever you need to live. Everybody has a different spending habit. But if you can create some level with Social Security and predictability, you can sleep at night. Because even if you have a lot of money and the market's going like this, I'm not sleeping at night. I don't care whether you have 10 million, 20 million. These people are still freaking out. It's the people that have the predictable income streams. This is why people buy real estate. When I buy rental properties or real estate, this is another thing that needs to be considered. I want to. The thing with real estate is it has two components of appreciation. It grows in value or it decreases in value. The property does, but I'm collecting rental income every month. People that have money, somebody that wins the lottery, for example, I put them all in municipal bonds, because what I want is a predictable, tax-free income stream that comes in every month. I want to create predictability in people's lives. My job is not to panic and make people give. It's like I want to worry about the money for them. Don't worry about it. You got to find somebody that can do that for you, but you got to create predictability and recognize the tools that are out there. That's a very, very difficult thing to do, because you got to find somebody that you're trusted enough to have that conversation with, and make this plan together with you. Not put the money in the market. Listen, I'm a stockbroker. The market's a casino. Sometimes you ever go to the casino, it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you know you had enough, you got to go to bed. You take your chips and you put them into your pocket. You may go up and come back down in another hour or so. You may sleep for the rest of the night. The question is, this is a casino. You want to take chips off at a certain point in your life, whether you're 40, 50, 60, 30. I do annuities for the maximum age in most annuities is between 80 and 85. The insurance company wants to give you that guarantee. There's very few places in the market and investing that give you guarantees. This is one of those things. You need to create that security and predictable income stream. That to me I have people that come into my office all day long.
So
you need to create that.
I feel like I'm sitting in AP organic chemistry. I don't know what the hell is going on, but I guarantee this is that I'm going to learn about finances. I'm going to help you learn about finances. And we're going to try to share good information with you so that we can get through this class together and learn a little bit about our finances and be prepared, because otherwise we don't even know who to ask. We don't know who to trust. So my goal for this coffee time is class 1.
And we'll go through it together.
Introductory to finances, and hopefully will lead us all into retirement so that we'll have enough money that we won't be eating cat food. Is that the deal?
Nothing is more important.
Okay, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, actually, it's Friday. I'll see you on Monday.